have a covenant with God because I'm so inquisitive. Because I noticed something about life. It's not death that people are afraid of. It's to come to the end of life only to find out you never lived. So because of that, when I got born again, I got born again in a very strange way. I passed out for 45 minutes on the 28th of May, 1994. So when I had my life back, I decided to live on purpose, such that I covenanted with God, give me friends, that there will be a purpose for the friendship, and let me be where I'm supposed to be, which is attached to my future. So that's why that's why, as my grandfather was a pastor, my father was a pastor, and I vehemently protested I don't want to be a pastor. I wanted to be a good show businessman because I wanted to beat Ben Bruce in show business. So right from the time I was in school, like I said, I never liked school, never came first. If you're at 14 class, I'm 39 position, I'm fine. I like break time. I like Friday evenings. I don't know Mondays. You know, some Mondays you already dress in your uniform and you go to school, they go back home, somebody have died. I like Mondays like that. I like Mondays like that. I like Mondays like that. Imagine 10 o'clock on Monday and you are playing and you have no classroom to attend. I didn't know that the conspiracy, even I never read any book. I never knew that God was preparing me for my assignment. So I became a pastor because as I got born again under such a very, because I was so popular in school, managed to go to a polytechnic. I have 7 children, you know. I happen to be the third born, and I'm the only one in the family that never liked school. Every other person went to university, only me went to polytechnic. And you know, my mother kept praying as a widow because my father died when I was just 9, you know. So, and I knew that I'm going to be a pastor, but I said, no, I want to be a show businessman. So right from there, when I went to Polytechnic for my mother's sake, I began to organize shows and carnivals. I also planned a beauty contest because I did a show that I made so much money. And as poor as my mother was, about 8,000 students, I should be one of the 3 biggest boys on the campus. So I wanted to go to Lagos to get a car for a beauty contest on the 28th of May, 1994. And my mother, who is my banker, surprisingly refused to release money for me, my money. And I wasn't happy with her. I went to bed, and that was it. Oxygen was taken out of me, and I jumped out of this body, and I saw an angel that said, the gift God gave you, you are not using it for your generation, follow me. My father left me with only one property, and that's Psalm 51. And I began to quote the Psalm. At the 9th verse, the angel reversed the decision, and I came back to life. So I located a church, and the zeal in me was so much that under 1 year I began to represent the pastor for naming ceremony, for housewarming, and for speaking engagement. I wasn't yet a pastor, but after service, about 6-7 families need to wait behind to see me. And the zeal was so much. If you think sometimes I was looking at Pastor Deboe, he said he prayed 24 hours because he heard Idahosa said, you know, they're all contemporaries. Idahosa, Kumoyi, and Adeboye are contemporaries, that he said you will be looking at Idahosa on TV, coming to Lagos National Stadium, fill the entire stadium with about 35,000 people, and that he will gather just 1,000 after fasting and praying for 2 days. And only for him to find out the secret one day that Idahosa said, before this crusade, I've stood before the Lord for nothing less than 30 hours. So he said, today, 30 hours is a child's play. So because I heard that from her, I took 2 of my friends. We went to the redemption camp and we did 24 straight hours too. To do 24 hours prayer back to back, you need 2 days without water and food to gather 24 scriptures and arrange the 24 elders in Revelation 16, you know. because each elder handles 1 hour. So when the first time I did 24 hours with my friends back to back was the very first day me to saw Jesus. And from that time I knew a local assembly cannot contain me. So I planted 3 churches in 10 years, between 1999 and 2009. And by 2009, Abeokuta was too narrow for me. So I have to leave Abeokuta, stop playing the local league there, and I went to Abuja to play the Premiership. So getting to Abuja, God gave me 2 warnings. Don't do prayer contracts, and don't start the church. Open a consultancy service, and show the church why they must not be poor. Because we are born again to shine again. So in the spirit of that, the zeal of God consumed me so much that I began to go to churches. I've covered at least 50 churches in Abuja alone. House on the Rock, Good Tidings, Winning Living Faith. I've covered at least 50 churches in Abuja alone in 9 years. And God said, identify the missing link in this country. And what I saw is that Great Britain has a national ideology, whether it's an individual or a company or a nation that is successful. That is, if you're a Nelson Mandela or a Serena Williams or a Michael Jordan, or you're a Coca-Cola or you're an MTN or a Julius Berger, or you're a Great Britain, a G20 or a G7 country, they have one thing in common. If it's an individual, he has personal ideology. He has a do's and don'ts, value system. For Nelson Mandela, it's mercy, forgiveness. He said when he left the prison, he had to leave bitterness behind, because if you didn't leave that behind, you'll be entering the bigger prison. And he said, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting your enemy to die. So his number 1 call is forgiveness. And he lived by that value such that he surpasses bishops and pastors all over the world in the ranking of what mercy is. If it's Serena Williams, the queen of tennis. I remember one year Serena won all the Grand Slams, January to December. Went to the Olympics, took all the gold there, in tennis. December, a reporter went to her. Serena, what's your problem? You took all the medals, all the trophies, all the Grand Slams. She smiled. Yeah, I did. Because January this year, my boyfriend disappointed me. He said he's not going to marry me again. So I took it upon myself that I'm going to revenge from every opponent I meet. So that anywhere that boy is, he will know he has missed a Serena. The Tiger Woods. Anytime he picks his call, he comes back, no matter how backward he has gone. It's call your call. I love the lion. He prays one prayer. God, thank you for waking me up this morning from my den. Just show me the animal I will kill. Don't help me. Don't help the animal. Leave the 2 of us. Because my Bible tells me in Proverbs 30:30, the lion is strongest of all the animals. He doesn't run away from any. Follow me carefully. Every man is a prisoner of his biography. I didn't come to preach. I came to speak to your conscience. I came to sign and circumcise your heart and take my leave back home. I'm going to come back again. I believe very strongly that as a company too, you must have what I call your corporate ideology, corporate profile, corporate ideology that shows your core values, your mission statement, your vision statement, something you stand for. BMW is ruggedness. Mercedes-Benz is prestige. Rolls-Royce is royalty. They all have, every company that is successful has what they stand for, which they don't compromise. If it's a G7 or a G20 country, they have what they stand for. The ideology of Great Britain is time management anytime you see the Big Bang. The ideology of Israel is security. Every Jew is a stakeholder in security. My friend has already told the ideology of, on the 4th day of July in 1776, when the 56 men gathered in Philadelphia, they wrote a beautifully written Declaration of Independence that starts with this word: behold this truth, all men are created equal. Blah, 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 blah. Liberty. Whether you are a Hindu, a Jew, a Christian, or a Muslim, all agree on one thing. All the 360 million people in the United States agreed on that one word, liberty. And it's a country whereby foreigners can come and become a governor of a state because of the spirit of liberty. Right from kindergarten, the spirit of liberty is sown, is circumcised in the heart of the child, and it grows with that mentality. I remember all of my friends when we were in school. Yeah, our younger brother was born in the United States, and the father began to mess that boy up. The boy went to the U.S. Embassy. From the U.S. Embassy, the boy was flown to America. When they investigated everything, the boy was not released for that man. They flew the boy back to America because it was for an American to be released from the enemy's camp. The whole America will stand, plus the president to receive the person. Am I correct? Now, what is the ideology of my country, Nigeria? Don't try to remember one. And don't say it's corruption. It's not corruption. You know why? The most corrupt country, I have a proverb in my language that says, it's not the man who stole that is a thief, it's the one that collected what he stole from his hands. So Swiss, the US and the UK are the greatest thieves. So leave that. All this white man, black man, I've never seen a black man before. If you see a black man, you will run. I've never seen a white man before. If you see a white man, look at white. Have you seen somebody like this before? It's a cheap black male. For those who hate colors, black. And black is the finest color, you know. It's a combination of all colors. Put white, blue, yellow, everything together, green together. What will it give you? Black. That's for another day. So, I don't know how you're going to feel. A country of 180 million people. Imagine you board a plane and the pilot tells you welcome to Boeing 747, be cruising at 40,000 feet above the sea level. Fasten your seatbelt. My name is Captain John. The only challenge I have is I don't know where I'm going, but when I exhaust the aviation fuel, I will decide where to land. We boarded that flight on the 1st day of October 1960, 58 years now. Soldier go, soldier come. One government will come and say Operation Feed the Nation. Another will come and say better life for rural dweller. Another will come and say Shopi. Another will come and say National Director of Employment. Another will come and say change. I don't know how you're going to feel if your mother introduces a new father to you every 4 years. We suffer that. Our leaders are sincerely confused. Oh, economic plan is like arranging the chairs and the table perfectly for a dinner on the Titanic. We suffer that. Under that dysfunctionality. The giants sleeping till this morning. That's why God sent a Joseph like me to that city. That's why he sent me from my local government to that federal capital territory. And it will shock you. He told me in 10 years, I'm going to take you to the front. It's my 9th year now. The rest is history. I'm right at the front now. The two political parties are chasing me now because I have the national ideology in my hand, which is entrepreneurship. Because when dollar was 190 naira to $1 just 3.5 years ago, a woman taking 100,000 naira, when dollar is now almost 400 to $1, is still taking the same amount. The surviving spirit. What makes somebody that our salary has been reduced by 75% or more, over 250% reduction of your salary, and you are still surviving, is called entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is optimism at its peak. Entrepreneurship is being an incurable optimist. That's my core. That's why I wrote a book that, as I talk now, professors in 4 countries are still trying to consider this book for a World Guinness record. My latest book. And I refuse classrooms. It's intentional. Because I discovered why a chartered accountant is chartered to account for money she can never earn. I've discovered why somebody spent 9 years in the university to work in another hospital built by somebody that didn't go to school. I know why. If I start that one now, it's a revolution to deliver the blacks. And I'm coming out, not on behalf of Nigeria alone, but on behalf of the blacks. When Great Britain abolished slave trade, the condition of the abolition, if I tell you the condition, what they removed from the classroom. Why they brought the classroom experience and what we're taught. There are three types of education: academic education, professional education, and financial education. Financial intelligence remains today globally the unfair advantage of the rich over the poor. That's why the guy who didn't go to school, who had pass, owns the company. The guy that has the finest brain becomes his employee. You know, my daughter left secondary school last year. Because of this, I didn't allow her to come. I allowed her to stay at home for another 16 months to go and learn photography, to go and learn what she loves to do. I waited for her to locate her core essence. She's not going to university. When she's out, after 1 year in Johannesburg, I will expose her to every major conference on photography in the world. And in 18 months, when her friends are leaving university, she's going to I've told her, employ 4 graduates and pay them salary. Know everything you want to know about photography. I give you 18 months now. I've attached her to the finest photographers in Nigeria, T.Y. Bello, Studio 24. She's been interacting with them. I said, now come to South Africa and learn photography. If you are not intentional about your children, they will serve professionally as a slave. There is a slave trade that is silent, that is still predominant. Now, nobody comes to Africa to exchange horse for mirror. Nobody comes to our leaders now to exchange us for umbrella and hot drinks. By ourselves, we will enter the Sahara Desert. By ourselves, we will go and marry the white man, a white lady. By ourselves, the volume of slavery in the 21st century is far bigger in volume and in size of migration than the slave trade, which is called the transatlantic. And one of the most finest slave systems is called academic and professional education. Show me one billionaire professor. Show me one. I'm waiting. Show me one. Show me one. I've not collected my certificate till now. And the day I was signing MOU to coach all the Nigerian corps members, all the 281,000 corps members, the director of my former alma mater saw me on TV, on NTA. I used to be a lecturer in the architecture department when this boy was in this school. I know him. Find him for me. The man invited me to the school. Say, young man, we saw you. We're going to be coaching corps members. Tell us what to have for your alma mater. I said, no problem. Bring me every March to speak to all the final year students for 2 days. Don't pay me. Just handle my transportation and my hotel. July, bring me again. All the student union governments, all of them, let me take them. The leadership for a 2-day leadership retreat. Somebody say September. Because when I finished the school, I finished with pass after an extra year. My GDP is 2.0 something. I finished with pass after a 2-year course, HND. I did OND first, and then I had extra semester, which is half a year. So I went to Lagos for my IT, went back to the same school, and I did mine. So as a second year, when my mates are graduating, my GDP was 1.7 something. So they called me the admin. Say, young man, you're having an extra. I said, no problem. So I did an extra year. The story didn't end there. So on the 3rd of June, 2013, when I was signed that MOU, the rector, who was a lecturer then, now saw me, said I should come. So I said, September, gather all the prospective retirees, and I will charge 200,000 per head. I'm coming to teach them how to retire. I've been going every year. I love my last year experience. The man I repeated his course was a student in my class. I said, Mr. Adeko, stand up. Managerial Economics, 1995, I had an extra year in your course. You are back in my class now for me to teach you how to retire well. Please sit down. Academics is not the same thing as education. The educational system of my country is too academic in nature that academic parameters is used to measure who is successful. Old syllabus. The finest minds walked out of school, educated themselves, located their core. So, that's my message. Entrepreneurship. You have to become an entrepreneur, whether you are a Ghanaian or you are a South African or you are a Nigerian, you must become an entrepreneur. Whether you are a professional person, whether you are a career person, whether you are a professor, because until entrepreneurship comes into your life, you are going to be a sophisticated slave. They converted slave trade to wage slave. Because year after year, from the Stone Age, when man will be chasing animal or animal is chasing you, if the survival of the fittest is either you kill the animal or the animal kills you. Later man moved to the Golden Age. Golden Age was when man began to discover tools to fight and to defend and to build habitation for themselves. And the world moved to another age called the Agrarian Age. The Agrarian Age was an age when men began to cultivate the land, discover fruit and crops, and began to gather themselves and began to own lands and began to become landlords and began to fight each other, having their clan or village, which began to move on for many years. In the days, that's when slave trade actually started, in the Agrarian Age. Men began to fight for their land, began to defend their territory, and then it's the days of Daniel, the days of Joseph were all Agrarian Age. And that Agrarian moved until the time even man began to, he moved, now it became an industrial age. At the industrial age, which was about the 15th century, to 16th, 17th century, 16th century, when men began to invent things, as at the early 19th century, man, in fact, began to move the movement from chariots, and then petrol engine took over, and from petrol engine by 1914, the Wright brothers even created an engine that could fly. As at that time, it is not right to put a chain on the neck of a person, so they changed it to tie. In the industrial age, a man in the world, because all these ages, nation rose, nation fell. We had the Babylonian Empire, Roman Empire, Grecian Empire. So as at the time when they entered the industrial age, it was the British Empire that was reigning. So hence, to have man in chain in the industrial age. As at that time, Detroit, Michigan, you have thousands of people working for Ford Motor Company. How can you put chain in the neck of men to work? Let them wear tie instead. Convert the slave trade to wage slave. Still put them in grade level system. Use them for 35 years of their life. Put them level 7, step 2. Level 8, step 1. Level 9, step 2. Level 10. Level them, step on them. Level them, step on them. Until they are tired. Then retire them. Thank God for Jim Bent, he escaped. Who pays Papa dictates the tune? Slavery is slavery. Across board. But the Mark Zuckerberg, the Steve Jobs, the Bill Gates, the Warren Buffett, the Richard Branson, check out men. Larry Ellison, check out men. Watch them very well. In football, in sports, check them very well. It wasn't the classroom. They discovered who they are. The entrepreneurship spirit entered into them, and they said to themselves, come on, I can't be caged. You know why? Profits is better than wages. What did I say now? Wages give survival. Profit gives fortune. Let the wise write that one down. The faintest pencil is stronger than the sharpest memory. Use your mind for creativity. Use your pen for information. House on the Rock. I've read too much such that when I speak on the platform with professors, I confuse them. I disturb their thoughts, and I destroy their theology. I wouldn't know where I would stand today that I will carry paper to talk, because I finished my rehearsals 3 years ago. 2 weeks ago, according to God's word, the House of Assembly, the House of Rep, and the Senate invited me to speak. The Christians. So when I spoke to the Christians, they called their seniors, and they are inviting me now to speak to the General Assembly, because we do not have a national ideology in my country. And it's so shameful, because I told them that day, I told them as I held the microphone that I didn't prepare for this message. In fact, I have not even done my morning devotion that day. I told them, I said, I am so busy because everything is just coming together now. And I noticed something about God. You can only control your preparation, you cannot control your opportunity. I am hosting 1,000 senior citizens in the next 5 days on the 29th of this month. And God shocked me that it is then that He now brought me to South Africa for 1 week. And I'm gathering level 16 and 17 officers across board, paramilitary, military, gathering to listen to my thoughts. Because I confronted them at the Senate that day. Show me where the ideology of this country is. I said, show me the mission statement here of this country. And you legislate. It was war 2 years ago, February 2016 in Asaba, when I spoke at the management conference of NYC. The Director General came and collected the microphone from my hand. I thought that was the end of my message. The man said, because I was saying it, unfortunately that day, there is one agency called National Orientation Agency. The Director General was beside me. So I finished the man. I said, you are a Director General of National... What is the orientation? Tell me the ideology of this country, which is supposed to be the core that drives national orientation. Tell me the orientation. The man began to stammer. The Director General just came and took the microphone of NYC. He said, I'm a Lieutenant General in Nigerian Army. I've done 27 years. My nation, Nigeria, sent me to Turkey with 4 other junior officers 3 years ago. We were given a form to fill. Every other nation I filled theirs, but I got to a place that I could not fill. They said, national ideology of your country. So I called my chief of army staff. I said, sir, there's a challenge here. They said, the national ideology of our nation. I said, wait, let me call the chief of army staff. So that one called the villa. They replied, use your idea, write something there. You see my leaders read. Even they are reading the thing, they are confused. Let South Africans not laugh here, because you have one president too that when he's reading, we have to be praying for him too. We are not different too. Don't laugh at us. Thank God you are the man. They have helped me to flush him out. So don't laugh at us here. We have the same problem. It's just that one is more obvious than the other. I was watching one the man was reading. He was sweating. One line. A whole president of South Africa. He was like, I said, is it doctored? They said it's real. The man, they package him there. And they later package him out. Wrong packaging. He almost took you guys back. That's my message, entrepreneurship. Let me just tell you one law, and I draw the microphone. Just one. I've written 101. I'm writing another 100. I'm writing 3 volumes, making 303 laws of entrepreneurship. The volume of revelation God gives me since I became a vegetarian 2 years ago blew my mind. I don't know what a vegetarian, when you stop eating anything that carries blood, what will happen to you? If you are not a serious Christian, don't become a vegetarian, because you will see things like Daniel. Wow. I'm seeing things. Another 101 laws have been downloaded to me, which I'm already writing. About 50 next year, I'm launching 4 books. Law of time. Let me just tell you about law of time. Law of time, the first thing I will tell you about law of time, because I look at when I'm interacting with over 300 laws, basic best practices of entrepreneurship. Your respect for time is the prediction of your financial future. Write it down. Personalize. My respect for time is the prediction of my financial future. I have never seen any rich man that doesn't value time. Neither have I met a poor man that respects time. In fact, I have discovered rich men spend their money to save their time. Poor men spend their time to save their money. To measure greatness in life, it depends on how you manage, deploy, invest in time. Every day as we wake up, God gives me and you $86,400 rands or naira, depending on your country. 86,400 rands is deposited in your account every day, but on one condition: what you don't use, you lose. Because we have 86,400 seconds every day. Very easy. You are taking 30 rands or 30,000 rands as salary every month. Your transport is 600 rand. You eat 200 rands. You call your recharge card, 200 rands. And then by the time all your expenses in a day is about 1,400 rands, and your salary is 30,000 rands, how much are you worth? Minus about 800. Because your time, your respect for time is the prediction of your financial future. The richest man in Africa gathered the time of about 60,000 people and joined it with his own, Aliko Dangote, and became the richest man in Africa. Whenever you give your time to anyone or to any system, you are giving your life to that system. That's why I said profit is better than wages. I don't care if you're a medical doctor. I don't care if you're a professor. I don't care if you are a diplomat. Hear me. Profits is better than wages. When you pray that God should bless you, He's going to help your organization to have more money, whereby they will now give you 13th month salary or leave bonus. Until a man wakes up and tells God, where do I belong? There are 7 questions that can make you to master time. Number 1, who am I? Number 2, what problem am I created to solve? Number 3, who and where am I sent to? Number 4, how will I get there? Number 5, what are my fears? What are my limitations? Number 6, what is my motivation? And the final question, I love that so much. What will I be remembered for when I die? I have answered these 7 questions. Who am I? In one word, I'm a catalyst. In 2 words, I'm a life coach. In 3 words, I'm a peak performance consultant. And in 1 statement, I help individuals and organizations locate their core competence by giving empirical information, acting as a bridge from where they are presently to their next level. 6 minutes more. I would have loved to give you all the 7 questions. But let me give you the final answer to my 7th question. Let me run to the 7th question. I respect time so much. I won't spend 1 minute behind the 5 seconds, 54 seconds, 5 minutes, 54 seconds. I've preached. The last one, the 7th one, what will I be remembered for when I die? Well, I go to Abuja, all my friends are hustling up and down. I didn't do anything. God said, acquire just 100 hectares of land. And that's all my property. I bought it in a city, in a suburb called Kwali, to build a city, an entrepreneurship city. So, my number 7 question answer is, what will I remember for when I die? Here lies the remains of James Abiono, 1969 to 2049, the man that institutionalized entrepreneurship in Nigeria. He lived 80 years, came, he saw, and he conquered. I have written my creed. Time cannot be wasted. Killing time is not murder, it is suicide. I don't joke with time. If you want to know the value of 1 year, ask a student that had an extra year. You want to know the value of 1 month, ask a woman that had a miscarriage. Time. If you want to know the value of 1 week, ask a man that was jailed for 1 week, especially in Nigerian prison. Not the own kind of prison here, that people are watching television and they are feeling cool. You want to know the value of 1 day, ask Romeo and Juliet waiting to see each other. They will tell you how long 1 day can be. 24 hours. Okay. Do you care to know the value of 1 hour? Ask a man that missed his flight. Sir, do you care to know the value of 1 minute? Seize your bread for 60 seconds. That makes 1 minute. Daughter, you want to know the value of a second? Ask a man that escaped an accident. And you want to know the value of a split of a second? Ask a man that had the silver medal in an Olympic, in which the guy who had the gold was just a nose faster. London Olympics 2012. Michael Phelps later was said he came first in the freestyle swimming finals. But there was a serious argument. The Serbian beside him, they finished at the same time. They took it to the computer, the bracket. They said, no, somebody won. They now went ahead to do a forensic vetting. And Great Britain came with an English I'd never heard before. You know what Great Britain said? When they did the forensic vetting, Great Britain said Michael Phelps was 100th of a second faster than the Serbian. 100th of a second. So meaning that in a 100th of a second, Michael Phelps took the gold. And the man that lost that split of a second took the silver. The meaning is this: your respect for time is a prediction of your financial future. When you're working somewhere and you're wasting time because you finish your job, you are wasting your life. Invigilators in the classroom, they can never be compared to the invigilator that is in life. There's an invigilator that monitors you, how you manage your 24 hours. I haven't managed by the mercies of God to prayed, seek God's face back to back for 24 hours about 6 or 7 times in my life now. God began to show me the mystery of time. And I could have a grip of what time is supposed to be to me. I don't waste it. I invest in it. If you give me 5 minutes to talk, less than 5 minutes, I say what I have to say. You know why? If you prepare when you're supposed to prepare, when they call you up, you will kill it. Why? It's because you can only control preparation. You can never control opportunity. Somebody I've had that time. There's a conspiracy I've seen here. I have been, wow. Now let me now use this time to tell you the 5. Number 2 question is what? What problem am I created to solve? I solve information problem. I help people locate their core essence. I help people retire early and start their businesses. That's the problem I'm created to solve. What's the 3rd question? Who am I sent to? I'm sent to people who doesn't know their core. I'm sent to lawyers sitting in doctors' chambers. I'm sent to people who are afraid on Monday morning, who always say, thank God it's Friday. Experts said that 85% of heart attack, cardiac arrest, happens every Monday morning between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Mm-hmm. That's when a lot of doctors are going to sit in the lawyer's chambers. There's something about nature. If you sit where it's not your habitat, you'll be suffocated. Anytime a fish tries to fly, it dies. Anytime if a bird enters the water, because apples don't grow in Nigeria, and neither do mangoes grow in London too. Fourth question. I transport myself to my listeners through my messages, through my books, through my CDs, through my conferences, through my seminars, through my WhatsApp messages every day. I use the medium of social media and the opportunity to meet with people to transmit my message. Next question. My fear is I'm a Nigerian. It's the confusion of my leaders. My leaders are sincerely confused. My fear is insecurity. My fear is mediocrity. My fear in the economic world is that they punish you for saving. They reward somebody for borrowing. They use your money. They milk the poor to service the rich. That's just my fear. In my own country, they will gather people's money. They will not allow you to take loan. To take a loan, as an average nobody, you have to go and dig your father's grave. You have to go and bring this, bring that. The collateral they will ask will be stands for what you want. But somebody, a Dangote, who is just playing golf, they will be pursuing him to come and borrow money. That's my fear. Thieves and rogues are celebrated. Brains like us. I decide, God warned me, if you kiss ass, I will take you out. If you give bribe, I will take you out. If you collect bribe, I will take you out. Sit where I put you. You know why? If you don't know how to beg men, you must do something that will make men beg you. So that's what I've done. While pastors are doing prayer contracts up and down, I sat down. I kept digging. Now they are the one looking for me. I'm choosing, the two political parties have gone in for after me now because what I have as a template to give the future to the country, God revealed to me. Next question. My motivation are success stories. It's Steve Jobs that were eating in Hare Krishna's temple, my testimony is reading about men that became richer when they are dead than when they are alive. It's not death that people are afraid of. It's to come to the end of life only to find out you never lived. I've met people in my country, especially in Abuja. I've met people who are so poor. All they have is money. Where I came from, there are more money in the house than in the bank. Because somebody came into power about 3.5 years ago who is after everybody. So my limitations are the ills in the society where I came from. They don't really celebrate mediocrity. They celebrate mediocrity and excellence until you break the barrier. So I have used excellence as a barrier breaker. So to round up my message, my brothers and my sister, I want to encourage somebody. Those 7 questions, go and answer it. I'll be back, I can assure you. Because I've held the hands of my friend to walk with him. We borrowed him to you here. He's a Nigerian. He's on a loan. And I told him, so you don't need to leave South Africa. But I'll talk to your lieutenants there. that there's so much to do for the black race. There's so much to do for our country, our continent, our countries and our continent. And you know one thing I love about God? God can never lack men. Oh! You think God can never lack men in South Africa? God can never lack men in Nigeria. God can never lack men in Ghana. We know how much our fathers have compromised. But the good thing about God is that it will keep a remnant that have not bowed down to Baal. That's one you're seeing there. He will guide them away from the crowd because the child was in a desert until the day will show him forth. He will not give us the crowd as much as we want the crowd. He will be shielding us. You know why? When the Bible said the children are the Lord's heritage, they had arrows in the hands of the mighty man. So God will draw them back with strength. Keep drawing them back. They will be saying, Lord, this is too much. They'll be drawing them. When he will release them. Allah kuraba sete librando soto lubridize. I leave you with this word. It is not what you don't have that limits you. It's what you have that you don't know how to use that actually limits you. Thank you very much.